This is Mary, so...
Well,
Hi.
I have an older sister. Well, not, but she's 102 years old.
Oh.
But she doesn't know that I'm giving these, but she, well, she's up in Grand Marais. And according to what I understand, I just,
She has dementia.
she does have, and so there's no reason, I mean, I don't think I would say anything to her about these.
Oh.
We talked about the fact that they would go to one of the little girls, but it would happen like it did with me. They go into a cabinet
Right.
and not played with, and we
Right.
said, so
Yeah.
why not have it in the museum?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Where everybody-
I'm quite sure my mother's father probably brought these sometime or another. He was like, we call traveling salesman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He would go into Marshall Fields in Chicago and around in that area, and they finally wound up here in Minnesota.
Wow.
And they were in Minnesota, and so he always would be bringing my mother dishes, and so this is where I can't tell for sure just where they came from, but
Right.
we deduce the fact that he probably gave them to my mother, you know,
Right.
and that she gave them to us.
Wow.
So I
It's a
think it's my
beautiful
own
set.
business, and I just would, if I started talking about them or anybody in the family, I think they're better off one place.
You know, we have a lot of people who believe that stuff like this is better off in a place where everyone can
Move the
see
box.
it. Oh, sure. Where everyone can see and share in it, because too often they don't. When people donate stuff, we try to feature it in the newsletter and say, "Oh, look what we got new in," and write a little story about it, so that it goes out into the community, so people
That's
know.
real nice. I mean, somebody is appreciating the fact that
I'm recording
those
this.
are coming. Yeah, and look at the little plates.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They are.
As far as I can tell, there's just one cup that was broken. Otherwise,
Right.
they're intact.
Beautiful little set.
They have 6 of them.
Well, you must have taken very good care of them over the years.
Well, you know, this is the thing about it, is that they're packed away and probably in the closet and everything. And then we don't think about bringing it out. And I was really kind of surprised, because Diane was, I was going into the nursing home over at Cold Spring.
Okay.
And so I was giving up my house, and she's getting everything that was put away in the closet.
Well, and I've had this for about 10 years. I went to California and then came back here.
Yeah, I think yeah, that was the thing about it, wasn't see, and that should be remembered, that it is through you too that you're giving it, because I had given them to her to take care.
Okay.
She was my only
girl.
daughter, and
Yeah, Aunt Lou didn't have any children.
Okay.
and my aunt didn't have, my sister Lou Lucille didn't have any children, so that was Diane's.
Great. Beautiful.
Well,
Very nice. And
I-
I think you documented most of that in the email that you
Yes.
sent me,
Yes.
right? So we'll make sure that that gets put with, the information gets put with them.
What I was telling her was about the fact that your grandfather was the first auditor for the county.
Superintendent of Schools,
Well, also,
AE.
but he was the auditor also.
later.
My grandfather,
Yeah.
my Anthony C. Kasner, and I think that you have his home, or gave it to that house in the fairgrounds.
But the
Is that where
schoolhouse.
he was
He was also the first superintendent.
Yeah, yep. I worked with Marjorie for years over there, Margaret E. And she has got me all the pictures of the superintendents of the school and stuff, and we've got a timeline worked over there at the Wattab District Number 2.
Anthony C. Kasner,
Yep.
and his home that they built for him in Foley, when they changed from Sauk Rapids to Foley, which is past history. I wouldn't go into past history. And anyway, his home was there, and he died. They had some. I have write-ups about his funeral because he was very, very well thought about.
Yep.
And they had all the stores closed and everything for his funeral, and he was the one for my.
And then your father took his...
And he was superintendent of schools in Benton County.
Right.
Yeah.
And then John.
And then a county auditor for years. And he was helped by my father because he was not well until he passed away.
That's the way it was done back then.
And the house that you lived in is still there. Do you remember the street?
Well, it's on John Street, but let's see, it would be First or Second Avenue or something like that. I don't know the addresses.
That's all right. I grew up out in Foley.
You did.
So I'm pretty familiar with the houses and who owned them.
Where Donnie's used to live. Dr. Donnie was a dentist, and he used to live, I would say,
Down the street from you?
yeah, it's for services for those who passed away.
Oh, the funeral home?
The funeral home, yes. Okay. I'm trying to think about it. The Donnie home was turned into a funeral home on that street, so you would probably know it.
Yep. Yep, and the home that was next to that is now gone too, so.
I guess
so. They
so.
consolidated the
halls had big homes there.
Yep. Yep.
And we lived across the street from that one home.
Okay.
And Kitty Karner from my grandmother's.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was all in the family back then.
That was
you could live in your whole family could live in
until
one
I was in
neighborhood.
3rd grade, yeah.
Well, yeah, because we found online, I found the picture of Uncle Joe's barbershop that was in town.
Yeah. Well, he was down on
So he knew all the news.
But frankly, I mean, I don't know, I won't say it, my opinion.
Foley is a different town.
Yeah.
Sauk Rapids is a different town.
Yes. I had a different, well, let's see, I was reading in that one, I was reading another book I thought too, and how Sauk Rapids did progress and everything. Yes, very much so. They had some wonderful things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every little town had its own little individual personality.
Yes.
And it was just the way it was.
I just came from the doctor.
She just had
That doesn't account for
a cortisone shot.
Oh.
Now she can kick her.
I'm just pretty stiff.
Right.
Yeah.
In other words, I don't dance around very much. No, my knee is one of those that clutches you every once in a while.
Yes.
And I don't depend on it too much. That's why
Have a cane.
if I got a pain in it, I might go down.
All of a sudden, yep, it's just gone. I just got a little bit over a little knee injury, and it was funny because every time I walked down the steps, I was always made sure I had my hand on the handrail because all of a sudden, and my husband said something about, I've never seen you use handrails all your life, and I said, yep, but now all of a sudden your knee is it's
Okay,
gone.
everybody say goodbye.
I read someplace that my